Coming up next, waste management.
To look at it, you'd never suspect that this was part of a working landfill. That's because waste management works closely with communities and the Wildlife Habitat Council to make sure we can all live peacefully together. Today, our landfills provide more than 17,000 acres of protected land for wildlife habitat. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green, think waste management.
April, how did they turn it into Shinola?
So this ad I thought was very interesting, because I know where my local landfill is, and it doesn't look like that. In fact, it's still getting a lot of trash. You can take your, batteries and things like that there if you want to. But I think this ad is more about the political angle. Don't call the politicians to regulate us too much, because we're doing a great job. Look, you could, have otters swimming along happily in.
Right.
You could have ducks, and your kids could pick up turtles, and this is just so nice, isn't it? So I think they're really trying to push this angle of don't regulate us. We're doing a good job on our own.
Charles, are you prejudiced in favor of otters and herons and against rats and seagulls? Because that's kind of what I think of.
Oh, dear. Well, there's so much to deal with here. But I do think that I would love to debate that, actually. That is, I think that there's a diverse world that they're presenting. And waste management, it is about the product. It's about the company. This is a company that appreciates biodiversity. It appreciates the otter and the turtle, and it's also about education. And I think that's fantastic. Well, I also think that there's obviously this kind of linkage between the waste we create, and somehow there's a little move about where do you get from the waste, as you say, to this lovely area where it seems as though waste management has these cans that will magically appear when you find a youth with a soda bottle, and she'll find a place for it. So I think great company.
Yeah, oh boy, I can't wait to get a landfill in my backyard after seeing this show. I can frolic with the otters. Just no to this whole ad. It's the classic trying to turn a sow's ear into a silk purse, only they're turning used diapers into beautiful scenery. I'm not buying it. Yeah.
And there's a very good, I'm totally with April here. I think it's a rebranding campaign that's primarily political. And one of the reasons is because WMI, Waste Management Incorporated, was like the huge villain megacorp of the 80s and 90s. You don't have to scrape far online, and I'm not going to name too much stuff in case we get sued, but there are we hate WMI sites all over the internet that cite their multiple violations of environmental regulations, institutional racism, environmental racism.
What is environmental racism?
It's basically where you dump stuff in communities of color.
You're leaving everything out but pedophiles. They're pedophiles, and they're on MySpace trapping kids.
Maybe the truth is between my view and maybe somewhere in the middle.
I'm not saying like that. Basically what I think this ad is doing is just saying, trust us, the megacorp, we're going to take care of your environment. Mm-hmm. Don't ask any questions, and just keep throwing out all the irresponsible crap you've been throwing out for your entire life, and don't think about it. We'll take care of it.
I think that that's an important thing, that, we do produce a lot of garbage. We're
phenomenal amounts of garbage.
Think about how much junk mail you get, and, even though you try and limit it, you still have a lot of it. But there's got to be a better way of handling, we all want this nice pristine site, but we create a lot of garbage, and we're not concerned about that either. I think that there's also this, somebody else will take it.
It's such a classic commercial about talking about the relationship of responsibility of the individual and the responsibility of the system.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed, I think, to alleviate guilt in producing waste, and saying, we've got it under control.
Right.
It's a little thin on the scientific underpinnings of how we're actually going to pull this
I don't
off.
think that the CEOs of WMI would be letting their kids play on the landfill with all the carcinogenic dioxins and all the seepage.
But the thing that I think is
just-
interesting is, if you look around, there's landfills all over. We all live very close to landfills. So, I think that it is
But
a
a
problem.
working landfill.
Thus the otters in the garden.
I was wondering about the use of the phrase "a working landfill."
Right.
I wonder if that's designed to
know what that
obscure the
means.
difference between a landfill that is currently being filled versus a landfill that has been filled and now has this either a grass disguise or a pond disguise over it. Is that still a working landfill? Does it help them push things through politics to say this is a working landfill?
Well, so I think what they might mean, I'm not sure, what they might mean by working landfill is that it's still decomposing.
percolating,
It's
yeah.
still doing stuff, right? I mean, so yeah, we've left it, we filled it a long time ago, but it's still in the process of dealing with all the stuff that's underneath it.
Okay, so they turn lemons into lemonade, or they turn it into Shinola. That's my original question. Our exit question is: name a real metamorphosis. Margaret.
You should have seen me when I woke up this morning.
Oh,
On Babylon 5, Delenn.
Charles.
well done. I just keep thinking of Kafka and our writers turning into cockroaches.
Well, I'm thinking of a caterpillar that turns into a beautiful butterfly and ends up mounted on a pin in a box somewhere.
I like to think of the end of apartheid as being beautiful metamorphosis.